Hey, you're missing backhands. You're hitting serves or returns in that first backhand. Once the point starts, you're making those needless errors. You don't have to do that. You can fix it. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can improve your footwork and your technique on your two-handed backhand. But by the way, it can help players with one-handers as well. Hi, my name is Jeff Salzenstein. I'm the founder of Tennis Evolution, one of the leading online tennis instruction websites in the world. In case you can't tell, if you haven't been following my videos, I am passionate about helping players like you get the tips you need to accelerate your results. I get frustrated when I see players struggling, when they're not getting better, when they're getting advice that doesn't work. I'm cutting through all the BS to help you, and today we're going to talk about the two-handed backhand. I'm going to break down some really cool footwork that's going to help you, and I'm going to give you some subtle technical tips that can make a difference as well. Let's get into this lesson right now. Here's what I want to do. I want to show this point. I'm going to take it back from the serve. And it's a second serve. It's a first ball forehand inside out. Now this is the backhand in question. So that backhand flew long, and there was reasons why it flew long. And I want to break down the backhand here and talk to you about some trouble areas, some things that can improve. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the footwork. And so this player comes, he splits, and his first move, you can see it's a little bit of a drop step, slightly back right here. I'm okay with that step. Sometimes you have to go back before you can go forward. Then he steps across like this with his right foot. So when I say steps across, he just kind of steps across to the left, but he doesn't cross over. We're going to talk about this in a moment, get more specific. Then he picks up his outside leg and loads behind the ball. He gets on his front foot right here. And then when he hits the ball, nice extension. We'll get into the technique in a bit. The ball flies long. So I want to get into the footwork. Kind of broken down this movement. The way that I teach footwork is I need to see a distinct footwork pattern that is very clear. And the way he's presenting this movement is that I would like to see a very clear shuffle. So what he does is he drop steps, he steps over, and then he picks up this foot. But to me, if I look at it in real time, it doesn't look like a very rhythmic shuffle. There's not a lot of rhythm behind that move. It's almost like step, 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 instead of step, and then I should see a shuffle with both feet moving together. And I'm going to give you an example in a moment. The other thing that I see is that when he comes to get on his front foot, I feel like he gets on his front foot a little bit late, and it's almost like he doesn't get all of his weight on his front foot. And then when he goes to push, it's like, it just feels like there's not enough weight on that front foot right there to drive. He gets it down, he gets on his front foot, but it looks like it could be more solid. Okay? So let me show you an example of what I'm talking about with this shuffle move. Because by the way, he can see this ball right here, and he can cross over with this foot. But in this particular case, because the ball is not that wide, I think he's fine to initiate with this shuffle move right here. But I want you to see, here's what I want you to see. Take it back a little bit here. Watch this. See how the left foot steps out? That's equivalent to his left foot stepping out here. Now, again, I'm not crazy that he went back a little bit first. I think he could have cut the angle and just shuffled across, or maybe a little bit forward, or stepped out a little bit forward or across. But like I said, sometimes you misread the ball. Sometimes you have to step back before you go forward. So that's the step out. So now let's watch how I do after. Watch how I shuffle here. See how I'm shuffling, and these two feet are moving together. So I'm shuffling I'm shuffling, and this inside foot comes down right here, and then this foot comes down. Let's watch what he does. Inside foot down, and notice, let's take it back here. So look, when I land right here, this is really, really important. When I land on this inside foot, notice how this foot is unweighted. There's no weight on it. So I'm about to bring it down and do my load. Watch, look, he gets down with this foot and he's just now picking this foot up. So there's not a lot of rhythm behind this shuffle move, and that's what's throwing, again, his rhythm off with his movement, and it's impacting the quality of his shot, the way that he can move into it. Then the second part I want to show you is look how he gets this foot down. He's on his toe right here. Watch when I step in. See how my foot is flatter on the ground? I've got more weight on the ground so I can drive. He never gets that heel on the ground. Then after you hit the ball, you can even see I lift the heel up a little bit, but not much. So that base, that front foot being solid through the ground and pushing off is not as solid as I'd like to see. So his rhythm is a little bit off. Moving to the left, that shuffle move is a little bit off. And his getting his front foot down and stable is a little bit off. And that's just enough to throw a player off and to cause him to miss this shot. So now what I want to do is I want to break down the technique. So he gets on his front foot. The first thing I want you to notice on the technique is he's finding the ball. The ball has bounced. There's no backswing yet. This backswing is pretty short. I mean, I love that his backswing is compact, but I think it can be bigger. I think of all the players that have big backswings, this player is an anomaly where he's got too short of a backswing. He still makes it work for him. He still has great extension, left arm coming across. That's better than most. He's on his left side here. He hasn't tilted to his right. He's not leaning in. His head is down. Like, all of this technique is amazing. The part that could be improved is I think he could have a little bit bigger backswing. Now, this ball flies long. What I'd like to see, if he knows that he has a habit of having the ball fly long, what he could do is he could cover the ball more with his left hand. So he could turn his hand over a little bit more, and the racket strings could be lying flat. It could be a little bit more like this instead of like this. So he could use a little more left hand covering the ball to bring that ball down, to get it lower. And then I'd like to see at the end, he could just kind of hold that finish here a little bit longer and not bring the racket down so fast. So he could just hold it. That doesn't mean it's going to fix the backhand from going long, but I'd like to see him hold this finish right here. The biggest tip that would help him make this ball is that he needs to turn his left hand over more to close the racket face right there a little bit more. He does a great job of getting through, but I'd like to see him close the racket face a little bit more. The final thing is that he could actually aim lower. If he's hitting the ball flat and it's going 3 or 4 feet over the net, he's got to aim for the tape. He's got to hit the ball much lower over the net. And actually, that is the first cue that I would give a player to improve right away. Aim lower. The second cue would be to use the left hand more, to turn that left hand over. Okay, and then the third cue would be to actually improve the footwork. So even though I started with the footwork and really wanted to point that out, when you're competing, you want to focus on targets first, the hand second, what you do with your hand second, and then your feet third. Now, earlier in the video, I talked about how this can improve your one-handed backhand as well. Well, that's because on the one-handed backhand, you can still shuffle and then step in. And so if you could clean up the footwork where there's more rhythm behind this shuffle move and you get more weight on the front foot, your one-handed backhand can improve as well. So did you enjoy that video? Power-packed with tons of content and value to help you improve your backhand, specifically your two-handed backhand coming out of the serve. First or second ball on the point, you want to be able to move to your left and shuffle with great rhythm and use your left hand and aim to the right target. Had a blast making this video for you. These are the kinds of tips that if you go out and you work on the targets and the hands and the footwork over time, you can improve and you can transform your game. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to transform and improve as quick as possible. I'm here for you. My name is Jeff Salzenstein. We've got a free gift for you. Make sure you click the link below or somewhere in this video, because when you do that, you're gonna get access to a free Tennis Evolution membership, no credit card required, 21 lessons valued at $567, lessons on the forehand, the backhand, the serve, the return, footwork, strategy, injury prevention, all of this training that can help you. It's absolutely free inside the Tennis Evolution app. Click the link below or somewhere in this video to get started. We'll see you at the next lesson. Thanks for your time today.